Today's module will review dashboards and reports that are available within Nakisa Real Estate. As soon as you log in into Nakisa Real Estate, you'll be redirected to the main page and you'll see several dashboards and reports available. These dashboards can either be pie charts, bar charts, line charts, or many more. In order to personalize and create those charts, you can go into the menu and you can consult different reports and dashboards. As you can see, you have preset dashboards, such as location dashboards. Here, all the information concerning all the locations you have entered into the system will be displayed. As you can see, you have a total of 965 locations, and you can also customize what you see on the screen. So as you can see, you can always resize the chart, you can always move them around and really customize it to your needs as well. The same applies for the premise dashboards. Here you have a summary of all the information concerning your premises. In this case, we have a total number of 843 premises. And the same thing applies for the lease dashboard as well. The more leases you enter within the system, the more number you'll have here, and the number will always refresh as you go through the system as well. In the reports tab, you have here the critical dates reports. These two reports are pre-built within the system, and once we go through them, you'll be able to see that you can also create your own customized dashboards and reports as well. As you can see, the critical dates reports has all the information about the critical clauses that have been entered within the system. They are always filed by the clause type, and you can really filter them as well according to your needs. For example, if you want to filter them by date, you can go ahead and select a date, and this will automatically refresh to that particular critical clause type. If you want to reset all the filters, you can either click on Reset All or cancel out the filter you just applied. You also have a reports for payments by location. This again allows you to really see all the information available within the system. Again, if you want to filter, you have the possibility to do so. And if you want to modify to export this chart into Excel, you can do so by clicking the three lines here, export it to Excel, or again, filter it as well. In order to create a new dashboard, you'll need to come at the end of the page here. So you can click on the plus button. You can determine the title of your dashboard, the type of the page as well, whether it's a dashboard, a pivot table dashboard, or a list, and you can select your data set. If, for example, you want a report that will showcase your critical clauses, you will be able to go ahead and select the critical clauses and clauses data set. If it's data that only concerns your payment, you can select the payment term or payment data set as well. So this always depends on the type of report or dashboard that you want to build. In this case, let's go ahead and select payment term. You can also select whether it's a side panel or a menu drop-down for the dashboard you're creating. Once you've selected everything, you can click on Create Page. You'll see that you'll have a successfully created new page, new dashboard. In order to see that new dashboard within the custom page, you'll need to refresh your page. As you can see here, if I go within my custom dashboards, I can see the new dashboard here. You can go ahead and click on it, and you'll have your new page here. Here you can see that you can add filters. By adding a filter, you can simply click on the plus and select the field that you want to filter by. Once it's added, you can simply click Add Filter, and that filter would be applied to the dashboard that you will create. If you want to delete that filter, just click on the little pen here and you'll be able to delete it as well. At the top right here, you see you have several options. You have the share page option. This allows the user to share the dashboard with any other users that have access to the system. If you were to click on it, for example, you'd be able to add a participant or to stop sharing with any other user. As you can see here, I am the owner of this dashboard and I can always share with whoever I want. You also have the ability to resize your charts, to create and add a new chart, to view it as a list, or to copy the page, edit it, or delete it as well. If, for example, you were to copy the page, you'll have a new dashboard with the same name as a copy within the system. So let's go ahead and create a new and add a new chart. To do so, click here. As you can see here, you have several different types of charts. If you go over them, you'll have the name as well. You can see here you have a pie chart, you have a bar chart as well. And the ones that we've been using quite a lot is the pivot table and the pivot table row. If, for example, you select the pivot table row, you can determine the title here, the subtitle, and you can always change the size and whether you want it to the left, in the middle, or to the right as well. You then have to select your data set and add any data that you want within the system. If, for example, file number is something that's important to you, you can just type in file, add your file number, and you can continue doing so by adding as many fields as you want. These fields will, of course, define all the details that you have within the system. So as you can see here, as I go ahead and add a new filter, a new data, I'll be able to really see the information for all the file numbers that I have within the system. If you want to add a filter directly on this data here, you can do so at the bottom. So if, for example, you want to filter by address, you can also enter the value of the address you want to filter by. So if this address is something that's important to you and you only want to see in this address, you can click on it, confirm it, and you'll only have the filter based, the information based on this filter. If you don't want to be applied anymore, you can simply exit. Once you've entered all the information, all the data within the system, you can click on Save Chart. To save, you'll be redirected to your new dashboard. Once again, in order to have the information appear here, you'll be able to click on anything else and go back to your dashboards in order to have the data appear. Like I mentioned earlier, you have the possibility of resizing your charts. So if I were to click on this, I can resize my entire chart. And once I click on it again, it saves. The way we've created this dashboard, you can also create charts, pie charts and bar charts like I showed you earlier. For example, let's use another example that was built within the system. If we go here, as you can see, we previously created a few reports and charts for you to see. As you can notice here, you can have several different types of reports and charts within that same dashboard that you've previously created. The nice thing about this is, once again, you can really move them around as you go, and this system will really react to whatever you want it to do. If you want to resize or this is not as important anymore, you can always modify and change anything within the system as well. Once you're done with it, you can re-click on this and you can save for the entire system. Another possibility that you have within the system is to create a calculation. So if, for example, you want to calculate the dollar per square foot, it is something that you can do and that the system allows you to do. For example, let's go into this chart here. If you want to edit any chart or dashboard that you created, always click on the 3 lines here and you can click on Edit Chart. If you wanted to export it to Excel, you can do so here. You can also filter it, copy the chart, or delete the chart as well. So I've created this chart in order to show you what you can do and what the system allows you to do. As you can see, I've selected the pivot table once again, a payment term data set, and I've added all the data that was necessary within this specific report. If you scroll at the bottom, you see that you have the ability to add columns if you want, but you can also add any values. In order to do the calculation within the system, you can add values such as the annual amount, and you can select the operation sum. You can also add your building GLA in square meters or square feet, depending on the type of unit you've previously selected. And you can select, once again, the operation as being a sum. In order to complete this formula, you will need to enter a script within the system. This script is predetermined. As you can see, you'll need to write a particular script in order for this to be validated and show the data that you want the system to show. In this case, what I did is I entered the annual amount, which will be divided by the square feet in order for the dollar per square feet to be applied. Whenever you'll enter this type of formula, what you can do is you can always validate this script. And once the system says that is successful, you'll be able to apply it. And you'll have the final column, which really calculates your dollar per square feet. As you can see here, you have an annual amount. You have, for example, the square feet here, and you'll have the calculation done automatically by the system. Once again, if you've done any modifications within your chart, don't forget to save, and you'll be redirected again to the chart that you've previously selected, the dashboard that was created by you. So this concludes the module on reports and charts and how to create them within Nakisa Real Estate.